This is my submission to Agma Schwa's third cursed Conlang Circus. The language is called Tat. The consonants are T, T, K, 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 E, W, W, F, S, H, 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 P, H, 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 The vowels are I, A, There is a third set of sounds which involves positioning your mouth like you are going to make a vowel, then releasing a laser starting at your throat and ending at your lips. The three laser sounds are ow, I. Nouns can be singular, dual nominative, dual accusative, paucal, plural past, and plural future. This affects the vowels that go with the root, and different vowels are applied for when you repeat the noun. Basically, every time you repeat a noun, you put a different set of vowels in the word, and you switch between the two sets of vowels in a cycle. Here is the word tish, the first time it is used in any situation. The second time the word is used, you can see that the vowels have changed, so it's now pronounced because of the changing vowels. If I use this word again, it reverts back, and this repeats until the end of either the conversation or written document. When a noun is plural, you don't use an article if the noun is plural past or plural future, because the vowels already compensate for that. For example, the word has a plural past version of it, which is and a plural future version, which is As you can see, the vowels have determined whether the noun is past, present, or future. Articles can state the tense of a noun when it is not plural because they can indicate past, present, future, hodiernal past, and hodiernal future. For example, the word is a non-plural noun, so we can use the article for a present tense. However, we can change this to hodiernal future by replacing the article with and different articles are applied whether the noun is masculine or feminine. Feminine nouns must come before masculine nouns, after which the coolness hierarchy is applied to those nouns. Coolness is where nouns and verbs are placed in a hierarchy based on the following scale: dope, sick, cool, radical, or neutral. This is purely based on the opinion of the speaker. This determines in which order the words are used and the vowels used in these words. For example, if I had the word and the word and I felt the second word was dope, but the first word was cool, then these words would be said as Adjectives must come before nouns. Adjectives have different vowels applied to their roots, depending on whether a noun is repeated or said for the first time, and it also changes depending on the coolness of the noun. Verbs have a system of evidentiality. They are conjugated based on whether they are primary source, I saw him do that, untrustful source, I don't know how, but he did that, or certain source, he definitely did that. So for the primary source word, this becomes when it is untrustful and when it is certain. They also have a system of coolness, like nouns. As I said before, nouns and verbs can be conjugated based on whether they are dope, sick, cool, radical, or neutral. This all depends on the opinion the speaker holds for the noun or verb. This then ties into basic word order, with dope nouns coming first and neutral nouns coming last. Verbs come after the subject if they are cooler. They come before the subject if they are less cool, and they are a suffix if they are the same coolness. This is the orthography. These letters work in a different way to the rest. Some letters can only be used once until another designated letter has been used. These come in groups, with one core letter that is used to replace the other letters depending on whether they have been used or not. These are the 5 groups. For example, if you use the letter then you cannot use it again, so you replace it with the core letter The next time you need to use one of the group letters, you use the letter but after this you have to go back to the core letter and so on. The core letter has a different sound depending on which of the sub-letters we used before. This pattern is the same for all groups regardless of the number of sub-letters in the group. Sentences are scrambled to indicate whether they are questions, statements, commands, or sarcasm. This is done through the use of sounds or letters. For example, the first sound of the English word the is said as th, but the first letter is t. So in the language, the first sound of the word is but the first letter is only when the letter has been used before. Otherwise, it would just be Questions are structured first sound of first word, first sound of second word, second sound of first word, second sound of second word, and so on. Statements are structured first letter of first word, first letter of second word, second letter of first word, second letter of second word, and so on. Commands are structured last letter of last word, last letter of penultimate word, penultimate letter of last word, penultimate letter of penultimate word, and so on. Sarcasm is structured last sound of last word, last sound of penultimate word, penultimate sound of last word, penultimate sound of penultimate word, and so on. There isn't any way to tell what the subject or object is if they aren't dual. For example, in the English sentence, the man walked to the shop, you wouldn't know if it was the man walking or the shop walking if it were translated. This is because the nouns and verbs can be in any order depending on the coolness and gender factors. Therefore, you could have walked shop man shop man walked, etc. However, when you have the dual nominative and dual accusative forms, that specifies which nouns are doing the actions and which nouns are having the actions done to them. So the sentence now becomes, the man who is doing the action walked to the shop that is having the action done to it, or the shop was walked to by the man. So in that, you have the root, which is man, which is masculine, so it must come after the word t, which is shop. Therefore, the sentence would be in pre-scrambled form, where the order is shop, 2 men, walk, or shop, man, walk. So now, let's see the translations that I've completed in my language. The pre-scrambled translation is the post-scrambled translation is this was my cursed Conlang for Agma Schwa's third cursed Conlang circus. Thank you very much everyone who stayed around for this video, and thank you very much to Agma Schwa.